What is up, everybody? We're going to be ranking vegetables based on their nutritional value, coming from a professional bodybuilder, one of the youngest in the world. Classic physique, if you guys care. But yeah, vegetables are very important. You'll see they're higher in fiber. They have a lot of micronutrients, but it helps a lot to lose weight. Vegetables are lower in calories, but they also are high in fiber, which will help you stay full for longer, help you whether you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, look better, feel better. Vegetables are a great tool. So I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you get something out of it. Let's get right into it. All right, first up, we're gonna do something that everybody knows. We're gonna do something basic. We're gonna go with the carrots. Carrots, they're cool. They're like the poster boy. They're the vegetable poster boy. Think of a vegetable, you think of a carrot. Now, carrots are lower in calories, and they have this thing called beta carotene. A lot of orange fruits and vegetables will have this. That's kind of why it's called a carrot, because it's very rich in that. Now, this will help with skin health. This will help with eye health. You hear that phrase that carrots improves your eyesight. It's not necessarily true, and there's other vegetables that are actually better in terms of eye health. But carrots will help you out in that aspect. Overall, there's a rich micronutrient profile, and honestly, it tastes pretty good. Compared to some of these other ones, I think carrots should be up there, and it's gonna fall for me into A tier. Next one we're gonna do is avocado. Now, avocado, as some of y'all might know, is technically a fruit. And looking at this list, I see a few of these that are not vegetables. I don't know if this is gonna be a vegetable tier list or what people think vegetables are tier list, but we're still gonna rank these because it's here. Now, avocados are healthy, right? We all know this. Why is it healthy? They're very rich in healthy fats. Now, avocados are higher in calories than almost anything on this list. That is because it's high in fat. And as you may know, fat has 9 calories per gram, carbs and protein have 4. So this is probably the highest fat item on this list. So it's gonna be the highest in calories. Now, that being said, they're very rich in healthy fats. Healthy fat is a monosaturated fat. This is gonna be good for your heart. Avocados are very high in potassium, very high in fiber, while also being low in sugar. A lot of fruits, vegetables, they're high in potassium, they're high in fiber, but not a lot can do that while being low in sugar. Avocado is very good at that. The only downside to avocado is its calorie. If you're trying to lose weight, maybe not the best option, but other than that, it checks every single box. So I'm gonna put it in S tier, but the one downside is it's very calorie dense. I guess it depends on your goals. Next up, eggplant. Now, if eggplant is your favorite vegetable, you're a weird guy. You're out here eating eggplant on the daily. If I ask you what your favorite vegetable is and you say eggplant, I'm gonna think you're weird. Now, is it worth the nutritional benefit from eating eggplant? Technically, no, not really. Low in calorie and again, high in potassium. Not great in potassium, it isn't where avocado is, but it'll get you right. Now, it has good antioxidant profile, shown to improve brain health. Another thing is this is also not a vegetable. These are actually technically a berry. If you look closely, I don't know if you can see it in this image, but there's like seeds in there, which technically makes it a berry. So, but I guess, I would call it a vegetable too, to be honest. But just because it's a little sus and it isn't super impressive, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Follow that up, we're gonna go with broccoli. Broccoli is cool. It's not super cool, but it's cool. Very rich in vitamin C, but with that, you don't really eat vegetables for vitamin C. That's what fruits are for. It has vitamin K, it's great in fiber, almost too good in fiber. What I mean by that is foods that are higher in fiber are gonna be harder to digest. It could cause bloating, it could cause gas. Broccoli is notorious for that. Your digestive system isn't too strong as it is, I'd be careful with this stuff. I'm not gonna tell you to stay away from vegetables. Broccoli is still good for you, just be wary that too much can cause some bloating and some digestive issues. Overall, I'm gonna put it in B tier. All right, to follow that up, we're gonna go with sweet potato. Now, if you watch my What I Eat in a Days, you guys know I love this stuff. I have this stuff all the time. It's great. A good rule of thumb is that if a food is naturally orange, it's good for you. Like carrots, sweet potato, it's orange because of the beta carotene. It's very rich in vitamin A, the sweet potatoes, high in potassium. The one thing though with sweet potatoes is it is carb heavy, but you need carbs. You're gonna eat your carbs for the day somehow. So I think the best way to do it is with sweet potatoes. Another thing with sweet potatoes that I like is that they're easy, they're versatile. right? You can have the mashed, make like these sweet potato pancakes. They're delicious. You can air fry them. I think they're really good. The one thing that's holding it back is just it's a little carb heavy. And keep in mind, you're still gonna get a lot of potato per calorie, but I don't think it's S tier. I don't think it's anything to write home about. So while I do have it often, I can see how for other people, the carbs could kind of scare you off. So I'm gonna leave it in A tier, but I can understand S tier. Next up, we're gonna go with radish. Radish is not that impressive. It doesn't taste good. It's low in calorie. It's very, it's one of those vegetables that are like 95% water, like cucumber, like celery. It's like 90 something percent water. The micronutrient profile is decent. I mean, all of them are good, but it's not gonna be a standout compared to a lot of these other options. I don't like the taste. I mean, this isn't about the taste. Even excluding the taste, I'm not impressed by its micronutrient profile, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. Next up, we're gonna do cauliflower. Now, cauliflower is pretty much broccoli's bitch, right? God created broccoli, decent invention, and he was like, how can I make this worse? The output was cauliflower. Now, cauliflower is just all the nutrients, the nutritious green stuff got pulled out, and it's just like a low calorie vegetable. It still has good fiber, but again, it's just not as good as broccoli in every aspect. So still good for you. And I do like cauliflower rice. It's a very low calorie substitute. It'll still give you that digestive discomfort and bloating. It's gonna go in D tier for me. Now beets. Beets are interesting, right? Like everything on this list, it's gonna be good in fiber. It's gonna have good antioxidants. What's cool about beets is that they're a little unique in some of their micronutrients. So one thing they have is manganese. You'll see these a lot in fruits, but you won't see it a lot in vegetables. And they have a lot of anti-inflammatory benefits as well. Another thing to be careful about with beets is that they are higher in sugar. Now keep in mind, it's gonna be nowhere near the sugar in a Snickers bar, right? Not even close. Even like compared to a lot of fruits, it'll be very low in sugar, but compared to things on this list, compared to vegetables, it's probably one of the highest items here in terms of sugar. They'll help you out for sure. I'm gonna put these solidly in B tier. All right, moving on to potatoes. Now, potatoes, okay, this is gonna be analogous to what we did with broccoli and cauliflower. Potatoes are just sweet potatoes, bitch, right? It's just a worse, it doesn't taste as good. God, for some reason, decided we want a worse version to give to the peasants. So we're gonna make it the regular potato. Now, still nothing wrong with potatoes. Still have a good amount of vitamin A. You're gonna get more from sweet potatoes. Still, a decent antioxidant profile, but again, carb heavy. It's still gonna be good for you, but you're gonna be better off in every aspect of the sweet potato, right? I mean, we can all agree it tastes better, the sweet potato, right? So if it tastes better and it is nutritiously better, why even go for this? Because of that, it's gonna go in C tier. Now potatoes, what I mean by potatoes, it isn't like French fries, it isn't hash browns, it's like produce section potatoes, right? If I'm counting French fries and hash browns, it's an F. Like why? Let's pause for a second and talk about why you would ever even eat that, right? Potatoes are already very carb heavy, right? We talked about this. And then you wanna dump it in grease and then coat it with a bunch of sodium. Sounds like a recipe for a heart attack. There's no reason to do this. You can, instead of having French fries at McDonald's, you can go get some sweet potatoes, get an air fryer. An air fryer is an excellent invention. If you don't have an air fryer, you're living under a rock. Like you're Patrick Star. Now, if you just get an air fryer and air fry some sweet potatoes, you would get French fries, but they taste better and they're about 100 times more nutritious. You can still add some seasoning on there too. I like to add like paprika, like some garlic powder, a little spray of olive oil so you still get like a crunch. Air fry for 20 minutes. And you get something that's 100 times healthier and isn't gonna make you obese. Just because something is a potato, a French fry, right, doesn't mean that it's gonna be healthy for you. If you were to air fry regular potatoes, you'd still get a healthy snack. But just go with the sweet potatoes, guys, I promise you, it's so much better. Now we're gonna go with spinach. Spinach, okay, now Popeye was onto something, guys. Spinach is great. I love spinach. Spinach is very high in protein per calorie. Per calorie. If you look at like a normal serving of spinach, it's gonna get you like 3 grams of protein. But it's also gonna be like 25 calories, which is an excellent ratio. But are you gonna get a sufficient amount of protein by eating Your spinach? No. That's where Popeye was a little misleading. You're not gonna get a sufficient amount here, but it's a good base to have. If you're making yourself like a bowl or like a salad, spinach is the way to do it. And that's just the macronutrient profile. The micronutrient profile is just as good. Very rich in vitamin A, K, C, potassium, high in potassium, all of it. Just all around, can't really be beat. So I think it falls smoothly into S tier. Next up, we're gonna do cucumber. As you guys know, probably know, it's like 95% water. Has good fiber, but this is just crunchy water. It's good texture if you're trying to lose weight, you wanna chew on something, it's the way to do it, but you're really not getting anything super impressive in terms of micronutrients. Everything on here is gonna have fiber. So I'm not gonna knock it, but I'm not gonna say it's anything, crazy. It's gonna go in C, it's average. It's gonna go in C tier. Lettuce for me is the same thing. It's just crunchy water. Nothing bad about it. If you're trying to lose weight, you're much better off going with like a bowl with a lettuce base, than rice. You're gonna get far less calories and, you're still gonna be sustained, right? You're gonna be satiated. Because of the fact that it doesn't give you anything incredible in terms of nutrition, this is a nutrition list, it's middle of the pack, that's where it's gonna be. It's gonna be in C tier. Next up, tomatoes. Now, I'm Italian, so tomatoes have to be at least B tier. But either way, they are good for you. They are really good for you, right? High in vitamin C, high in vitamin K, high in potassium, right? Low in calorie, pretty hydrating as well. So it's gonna be lower in calorie. Be careful when you're cooking it because it'll decrease the amount of vitamin C. It's gonna be the same thing for carrots, actually. I forgot to mention this, but with carrots, if you overcook it, it'll decrease the amount of vitamin C. Now, it'll increase the antioxidants in carrots when you cook it, but it could decrease the vitamin C pretty significantly. Anyway, tomatoes, again, I'm kind of deciding between A and S tier because there isn't anything wrong with tomatoes, right? There's really no downside. Where there is downside, like I said before with potatoes, it's the way you get it in, right? If you're getting tomatoes from the produce section, awesome for you. You can't really miss, right? But if you're getting it from ketchup, if you're eating ketchup and fries and thinking you're eating potatoes and tomatoes, you're not, right? You're just eating refined processed grease with a bunch of sugar. But if you're eating the produce itself, it's a completely different story, right? It's not the same thing doing this here. So don't think it is, right? You fat ass. Tomatoes itself are gonna go into A tier. I'm holding it back from S tier because it doesn't wow me. It doesn't give me a boner, but it'll get me excited. It'll get me half-mast, Yeah, I think tomatoes belong in A tier. All right, next one we're gonna do. All right, we have a sleeper here. I'm gonna choose a sleeper. There's a sleeper hiding here. You guys want to guess what it is? All right, you guys have your guesses in? It's gonna be the pumpkin. It's gonna be the pumpkin. Now, the pumpkin, like a few of these things here are actually a fruit. The pumpkin is ridiculously healthy for you. Very rich in vitamin A, right? It's gonna have the beta carotene we get from the carrots and the sweet potatoes, right? Remember what I said, if it's orange, like naturally, right? I'm not talking about like Cheetos. If it's naturally orange, it's gonna be very healthy for you. So again, very high in the beta carotene, and you'd be surprised how low in calorie pumpkin is. If you get like canned pumpkin or you get it raw, chop it up, it'll be much lower calorie than you think. Also, the seeds are very healthy for you too. They contain healthy fats, magnesium, some iron in there if you want to get your iron in. It's a great way to do it. You can air fry those pumpkin seeds. It's a great snack I used to have when I was a kid. We didn't air fry them, but we threw them in the oven, but I'm sure you can air fry them too. Anyway, pumpkin is a sleeper and it's gonna go in S tier. All right, next up, let's go with the olives. So, I like olives. I like Mediterranean food. I like how olives taste, but they're pretty high in calorie and they're pretty high in fat. Another thing is that they're very high in sodium and it hurts to do it. Like olive is my boy. I'm friends with olive. We go way back. Nutrition wise, it's good in vitamin E, but high in sodium, which can be good if you're trying to go to the gym, get a pump, get the veins popping. But there's better options for that. High in fat and high in sodium, and there's generally healthier options out there. Because of that, it's gonna fall into D tier. Next up, we're going with kale. What do you guys think? Where do you guys think kale's gonna go? If you said S tier, you're gonna be right. Extremely high in vitamin K, Per calorie, I think it's the highest out of any food out there. If you go to like a dentist office and you're waiting in the reception, right? You're looking at the magazines, you're flipping through the pages, and you see like superfoods, like the superfood list. Kale's gonna be on there every single time. Very rich in fiber and very high in calcium. Keep in mind, it's doing all this while being super low in calorie. It supports bone health, right, with the calcium. Extremely unique antioxidants. Overall though, kale is an easy pick for S tier. I don't know. Next up, we're gonna go with corn. Now, with corn, it's higher in carbs and a little higher in sugar than most things on this list. And typically, it's very processed. Like, the corn you have at Chipotle, it's not what real corn tastes like, guys. I hate to break it to you, but that's not real corn. It's decent in vitamin C. Honestly, the entire micronutrient profile is pretty weak. Nothing really stands out in terms of vitamins. Corn is also very hard to digest. I'm sure if you guys know what I'm talking about here, I don't need to draw it out for you. But just overall, it's gonna go in C tier. It's gonna go in D tier. I do like the taste, you know, but nutritiously, it isn't anything impressive. Next up, we're gonna go with the chard. Now, there's a category here that says never tried, and I've never tried chard. I don't know what the hell this is. But the name really pisses me off, so I'm gonna put it in F tier. Like, chard, are you serious? Why would you name anything that? That doesn't sound like a vegetable. That sounds like a name of like a rock, like andesite, like chard, you know, like sand, like dirt. Terrible. F. Next up, we're going to the onions. Now, I love onions. Onions are awesome. I have a story real quick. My friend, he's a fighter, right? And before his fights, him and his other friends that would fight would eat raw onions, like eat it like an apple. Like that. Obviously, they peel the skin off. They eat like an apple. And he said it would increase your testosterone. I'm like, what? So he says, no, it totally works. So I took him up on it. We were going to the gym one day and I wanted to try the onion thing. So we tried it. And we took like 4-5 bites out of the onion, right? You're only supposed to take like 2 bites. And it was rancid. Oh my God, it was gross. But we had the most testosterone induced, like high energy lift probably ever. Is that crazy to say, ever? It probably is. But it was a really excellent lift. Now, if you're gonna try this, be prepared with some mouthwash, right? Because it's rancid and it'll make your breath stink a little bit. You don't wanna be scaring away your gym crush. Another thing I like about the onions is that they're easy to, you know, make. Like, it's super easy to saute, like have some chicken in a pan, some eggs, chop up some onions, throw it in the pan. Easy way to saute it. I'll still see a little testosterone boost, you know, it's notable. If you eat it raw, like, it'll really hit, but still nice. Cheap in calories, easy to integrate into your diet. It's good in potassium and vitamin C and has anti-inflammatory benefits. All around, I can't find a negative. I can definitely find a bunch of positives. I'm gonna throw it in S tier. Next up, we're touching on the beans. Now, I don't know if these are technically a vegetable either, but they are probably the highest in protein on this list. Excellent in fiber. If you're a vegetarian, this is probably the only way you get your protein in. Also is good in iron, magnesium, and pretty decent in potassium. It kind of depends on the kind of bean you get. This is pretty broad. This is what you call a complex carb, right? It's like broccoli. It's just a little harder to digest. And because of that, this is what's gonna cause the gas and the bloating. But the protein is, you know, really solid. It's gonna be way higher than anything on this list. So I'm deciding between A and B tier. I think it's ironic how I have only vegetables that begin with letter B and B tier. So I think I have to keep that going and put it in B tier. But I can understand A tier. You know, again, beans is a pretty broad category. I don't know if, you know, I like chickpeas a lot. Like, I mean, if you can, I get chickpeas. It's a whole nother topic. But overall, I think B tier is accurate. All right, moving on to the artichoke. Now, I'm not very well versed in the means of the artichoke, all right? But doing some research via ChatGPT. ChatGPT is kind of glazing it, guys. But do we trust it? I can't trust it to do my math homework. So I don't know. It is supposedly good in vitamin C and vitamin K. You know, what isn't? It's decent in fiber, but again, it pales in comparison to like broccoli or beans or any of this. And how would you even eat an artichoke? Any artichoke advocates out there? Anyone that loves artichoke, eats it every day? No, probably not. Actually, I'm gonna say for sure not. How would you even prepare this? You wouldn't eat this like an apple, right? I don't know. I'm putting it in C tier for now, but I mean, if anyone loves artichokes out there and has something to say about it, I'll hear you guys out, but unlikely. This one is also kind of pissing me off. Again, never had it, but what is that? Is that Cool Rabbi? Is that how you pronounce that? It looks like, you know, like you're playing Scrabble or like a word puzzle. And there's like a hidden word in here. You gotta unscramble it to find like the real word. Like that, those assortment of letters don't make sense. And Cool Rabbi, like there's for sure a Jewish joke in there. Cool Rabbi? I've never met one, only lame ones. Is that even, how do you even pronounce it, guys? I don't know. I don't know how you would eat that. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's irritating me and it's going in F tier. Celery, again, crunchy water, but I think it's a better version of crunchy water than these other ones. It's gonna be higher in potassium. It's very low in calorie. I remember during my bodybuilding prep, I'd have this very often, just because a whole stock is like 5 calories and is easy to measure. So it has a special place in my heart. Be careful though, because it is known to be exposed to pesticides. I get it from a clean source from somewhere you trust, but just be careful. Very hydrating too. It's gonna go in B tier for me. Next up, we're gonna go with green beans. Now, I actually have green beans pretty often, but you know, it isn't anything excellent. It's just a lower calorie version of rice. That's how I use it. Like if I were to make a bowl with some chicken or ground beef, but I don't have any rice on me, or I want to keep a lower carb intake for that meal, I'll use green beans as a substitute. It's gonna give you some micronutrients, but nothing, again, nothing crazy, nothing like spinach or kale. They're good for heart health and your immune system, but again, nothing super crazy. I'm gonna put these in B tier as well. Let's talk about asparagus. So asparagus isn't gonna be rich in vitamin C. It isn't gonna be rich in fiber, but it is gonna be good in vitamin K. But that's what kale's for. You don't need to make your piss smell weird because you want your vitamin K, right? You can do this with kale. You can do this with spinach. You don't need to do this with asparagus. It's low in calorie, but what isn't low calorie on here? If you're gonna be low calorie, you gotta have something else to keep up, with the rest of the pack. And asparagus doesn't have that. I mean, if you want your piss to smell weird, it's S tier, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for nutritional value, and asparagus doesn't really show that too heavily. So we're gonna put that in D tier. Brussels sprouts. These have great anti-inflammatory benefits. They're great for your heart. They're actually very good in fiber too. If you're a picky eater though, you're not gonna be a fan of this. I always liked them. I always thought they were great. Be careful with the bloating and the gas again. That'll come with the fiber content. Like all these high fiber options you'll see, like broccoli and like avocado and beans, all these high fiber options, they're gonna be harder on your digestion. Spider-Man once said, with great fiber comes great digestion issues. That's what Spider-Man once said. I asked him. I don't know if he said that in the comics, but I talked to him in person. That's what he said. But because of that, it's gonna go in B tier for me. All right, let's talk about the bell peppers. Now, bell peppers are actually a sleeper. Bell peppers, they're good in vitamin A, they're good in vitamin C, they're great in potassium. They also just taste good. A little higher in sugar than some of these other vegetables, but again, if you're comparing it to like a Snickers bar, it's not even close. Now, a cool thing about peppers is that the color of the pepper changes depending on its ripeness, and it would also affect its micronutrient and macronutrient profile. Like, I think the red ones are the sweetest. They'll be the highest in sugar, but they'll also be the highest in vitamin C. It's gonna go in A tier for me. Let's talk about the jalapenos now. I can't say I'm too well versed on jalapenos, right? I'm a white boy, I can't handle the sauce like that. But it's good for skin health, and it's good in vitamin C, and it's good in vitamin K. It's gonna be irritable on your stomach if you can't handle the spice, which for most people, I'm assuming y'all can't. So because of that, I put it in C tier, but if you can handle the spice, I can see it in B tier, maybe A tier, probably not. I don't think it's on the level with bell peppers, but if it's a category between C and B, I put it there. I think I'm gonna stick with C tier. And that right there is about all the well-known vegetables. If you wanna see a part on the cassava, or the edamame, I like the edamame. Right? Anyway, if you want to see another part with some more intricate vegetables, let me know. I would love to make another video, do some extra research. But I think I touched on a good amount for now. I hope you guys learned something. This is the first YouTube video I've ever made, so hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, subscribe, smash that like button, and come back again. Let me know what you guys think about this list too. Maybe you guys have some interesting insight, Maybe you have a point I forgot to bring up, but I'd love to hear your feedback. You guys have a great day. Tune in next time. I'll see you guys then. Peace.